Hello, welcome to our online lesson. Today we're going to have a go at a vase of tulips using, we're going to do a black and white version using charcoal, pencil, and if you've got a brush handy, that could be really useful too. I'm going to show you how to draw it. This is our inspiration piece, not that ours is going to look exactly like that, but we'll use that as a starting point. So, to draw your tulips, I suggested to the other group that they create the shape of a cup. It's kind of like a long skipping rope, I suppose. And then tulips normally have like these closed petals. They might have 3 sections or 4, depending on what angle you're looking at the tulip. So I'm going to do probably 4 different tulip heads, and each one is going to be slightly different with the petals. So sometimes they might cross over, sometimes they might kind of have a large one coming out of the middle, maybe a couple of parts. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'll do a 4th one. You can do as many as you would like, because yours doesn't have to look exactly like mine. It can be your own. Now from there we're going to create the vase, so that needs a curved line, and you can make your vase whatever shape you want, but the bottom and the top of it will need to have that curved line to suggest that it is 3-dimensional. There we go. And then your stalks will go into the vase. And then we need some leaves. So the leaves are just long, pointy triangles, a bit like blades of grass, I suppose. The other group have just done this in colour. So you're going to do the black and white version. So there we go, there's my vase. Okay, so using your charcoal, you're going to go down the left-hand side of every tulip bulb and make it quite dark. Every petal, I should say, not just the bulb. So you want charcoal on the left of each one. And then you're going to use the brush that you've got to spread that out to bring the charcoal into the petal. And then it wants to be lighter on the edge of the petal. Okay, so this is where your kneadable rubber might come in useful once you've spread it out a bit. I'll show you in a second. We'll just get everything spread out. Remember to blow any excess dust away if it's in your way or you think you're going to smudge it. Okay, so with your kneadable rubber, make a bit of a point and just highlight those edges. There you go. And then you can just fan the soft grey into that a little bit, so it's not quite such a sharp white line, but you can definitely see it. There you go. Might just make it a bit darker there. Just make sure you're happy with your edges. If you feel things are looking a bit messy, your rubber should be able to take away anything that you don't need. Same with the stalk. You want it to be dark on one side and light on the other. Same with everything, really. It's the same philosophy for stalks, leaves. The vase, it will be dark on one side and the light is catching it on the other side. So I'm going to do that. I'll speed up the footage so you can watch, but I'll start talking again when it's time to do the vase. So even for your leaves, keep it nice and dark on one side and then spread it out so you've got a nice soft grey for the other side. Use your rubber where you would like it to just be a little bit lighter. Just take some of that excess charcoal off. Okay, now it's time for the vase. So we need to just hook around the back there so that the vase has a back. And we want this to be dark because this is inside the pot or the vase, in between all the leaves and the stems. And then you can, quite a sharp line coming round that way. Okay. So our darks are on the left, so that means for your vase that has to be the same. I keep snapping my charcoal today. So you want quite a bit of depth brought. Follow the shape of the vase around. Go around the bottom as well with your charcoal there. You might want a bigger brush for this part. And just have there, so I've kind of filled it in, quite thick at this side, a bit more sketchy through the middle, dark down the bottom and light on the right. So with a larger brush, you are now going to spread that out using your brush in a downward direction. You can go across when you reach the top line there, but the rest of the time you want to be coming down and following the shape of the vase. And cross at the bottom as well, to give it that kind of rounded illusion. There you go. So I came down first, down the shape of the vase, and then I'm going across, but I'm curving my brush around so that it is not just going flat. Now, you will need a little bit here as well. So we want this, yes, we want it to be the lightest area on there, but we want to, it does want to have an edge. And then we'll use our rubber in a minute to help with that. Okay, so sharpen it up on the edge with your kneadable. And then I would actually kind of give it that sheen, and I would have just a couple of bits here and there in other places as well. There you go. Then just tidy it up a bit with your brush. That's your vase just about done, or your pot. And then you're going to need a table line in the background. And your table is likely to have some tone to it. So I'd keep those lines horizontal for your tone. Go quite dark under the vase. Keep it nice and rounded. And use your brush. Spread that out. If you want to be real clever, could even give the table the illusion of being wooden, which I'll show you in a moment. Just using my rubber to define where the edge of the vase is there. There we go, and then you can just bring that shadow down a bit if you want to. Awesome, there you have it, vase of tulips.